Hi, I'm finally back, as you can see. I took yet another unplanned break, but that's what happens when you have chronic pain. So I'm going to play with some mostly new makeup, and a few bits that aren't new, and tell you what I've been up to, which is not much, but let's get started. So the reason I've been away is because I thought I had sacroiliitis, which I mentioned in a previous video. I'll link that below, which is to do with like your sacroiliac joint, which is basically your hips. I was told by a physio at my GP that that's what I had, because I had this terrible pain in my lower back and bum area, and like the front of my hips. It goes like all the way around in a ring, and it is worse when I lie down and sleep, and it's pretty bad when I sit as well. So I have to like fidget a lot. I have to try to move around to minimize the pain as much as I can, but obviously moving too much causes pain too. Thanks to my friend Tiff, I recently discovered, thanks to her, that if I sit on one bum cheek at a time, it helps. So if you see me moving around, you'll know why, and if I'm at an odd angle, that's also why. So yeah, I was trying to get help for the sacroiliitis. They gave me exercises at the first physio, and it was to strengthen my muscles. So the reason I had it is because I'm inactive because of fibro, and that's bad for your body. It causes like your muscles to tighten and can cause pain, as well as, you know, the obvious weakness. But to me, it's unsurprising that the strengthening exercises would cause me to. The strengthening exercises, even though they're, you know, compared to say what a person without chronic pain could do, it's like kind of nothing. For me, it was very painful, especially the bits where I have to like lie on the floor to do them. So anyway, I was looking up, because I'd do the exercise, and then for like 3 or 4 days I'd be physically useless. I couldn't do anything. Everything would hurt so much. Even like sitting down to brush my teeth would hurt. Everything. So I looked up online like how to get started with exercise if you haven't been able to for a long time, and it said that with this type of pain, a corticosteroid shot would be effective. It took ages to convince my GP that's what I needed, and then they were skeptical that I even had sacroiliitis. It's like, well, it's your physio that diagnosed me. It's like, why have a physio on site that you recommend and refer people to if you don't trust the diagnosis? But like, to get a corticosteroid shot in that area, you have to have it under X-ray, because it's like a big needle and it's got to go like right in through, you know, either your hip or maybe your bum, depending on, you know, whatever angle they come in at, to do this. So it's not like obviously it's not the easiest place to get injected. So they were insisting that, oh, you need an X-ray or an MRI for that. I was like, well, I looked at it online, and I know from talking to my hairdresser that when her son had sacroiliitis, he needed an MRI. It does not, that type of information does not show up, or information in general, because it's like, I guess, muscular, doesn't show up on X-rays. You need an MRI. Would my doctor listen? No. So of course they made me do the X-ray, but I kept seeing like, or talking to different doctors, because these are all phone appointments, and they were saying that we do the X-ray first, just in case it shows up, but we'll book you for an MRI as well. Just the X-ray time was a lot shorter waiting list than an MRI. So I did that, got the results, and of course, it didn't show any information. So I called them back and I was like, okay, it didn't show back, let's book me for the MRI then, if I'm not already on the wait list. And they're like, no, we're not going to give you an MRI. And but they wouldn't really give me a reason why specifically. Well, they're saying that I think it was that if it's not showing up in the X-ray, it's not going to show up in the MRI. And it's like, MRI is more like, is in depth the right word? Like, you'll see more. And I was like, it says on the NHS website, which is a health service, for this, you need an MRI, not an X-ray. And of course, they don't listen. They're fobbing me off. And it's like, oh, it's just fibro. Blah, 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 blah. Unhelpful. And of course, that made me like, I guess depressed is the right word. Because I have depression, so things are going to get you down. You know, you feel a bit depressed. Not like depressed, but you know what I'm saying. That was like the summer of last year. And then since then, my pain was getting worse and worse. It was like obviously really bringing me down. I was doing less and less things. I going to the cinema was a nightmare because I'd be in so much pain during the cinema, after the cinema, and then the next day. And I was just like crying. I was in so much pain all the time. It was really obviously affecting my mood, and it was making me really depressed. And then eventually I contacted the GP again. I filled like this online consultation form. So this is a situation. It's been going on for like 18 months now. I need help. If this is sacroiliitis, I want a corticosteroid shot. I cannot do the exercises. It hurts too much. And like, it's really affecting my mental health. I physically cannot do anything. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I cannot do anything. So I pushed and pushed, and I got the MRI only at the end of March. So it's now like the end of May. It took them like 3 or 4 weeks to give me the results. Like Easter got in the way a little bit. To try and like summarize. So basically the MRI showed that I do not have sacroiliitis, but what I have is between my L4 and L5 on my spine. That's right at the bottom, the lumbar area, so like, you know, your lower back. There's the disc is bulging. So it's not herniated, but like I guess it's the coating between the vertebrae that's like keeps it soft and moving, and that is bulging out in a way that it's not supposed to. So that could be pushing on nerves in the area, which is causing the pain. So I was surprised that it wasn't the sacroiliitis. I was surprised that the physio and my osteopath didn't pick up that it was a bulging disc. But I was relieved that I knew what it was. I had, you know, a tangible thing that this is what the cause is. But then looking up online, and I was referred to a musculoskeletal interface place. So their specialty is like back pain in particular, and some other stuff. So yeah, I could put up like a proper definition of what musculoskeletal is, or like a link. So basically this place is like going to take over from the GP because, you know, they're specialists. The GP's not. So this musculoskeletal place, the person you see is a physio. So I was a bit put off because like the last physio wasn't helpful. Physios I've had early on before I got the fibro diagnosis were not helpful. But this guy surprised me and surprised Tom. He was like a bit hands-on, so it was like, you know, touching different parts, asking about pain, getting me to move, asking my permission before touching me, which is like, you know, should be obvious that they do that, but not all medical people ask permission. He really knew about fibro as well. He knew about this sort of thing. And so the downside is, even though this is the bulging disc is showing, and this is what I read online as well, it may not be the cause of my pain. So a lot of people have stuff like a bulging disc and they won't know because they have no symptoms of it. So there's always a chance that even if we do stuff to deal with that, I could still have this pain. I don't know what happens in that case, but so I've been given some exercises to do, just stretching exercises to do. He said the problem is like my joints, like my hip joints, for example, are quite loose, and he was surprised at how loose they are. But the muscles surrounding it, so like my quads, my hamstrings, my glutes, and my lower back is all very, very tight, which is unsurprising. All my muscles are tight. So I have some gentle stretches to do for 3 weeks, and then I will go back to see him and we'll take it from there. And I'm also put on a waiting list for pre-NHS 6, hopefully it'll be 6 rounds of hydrotherapy at a nearby hospital. So fingers crossed some of this helps. And yeah, that's the gist of it. Oh yeah, he said there's something wrong with my joints as well. He didn't really go into detail, I guess, because it's not his area or something, but like, I've contacted my GP through the online form again to talk about this. And like the GP told me that MRI results not my usual one. Some random woman, I guess, works somewhere else, but you know, they contract out to other GPs. She just said that it's not sacroiliitis. So she didn't know what sacroiliitis was. She's like, it wasn't looking for that. And I was like, yeah, it was. That's the whole reason I had the MRI. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. And it said, I don't know if she mentioned then, but the physio mentioned as well that I have mild scoliosis. And when the physio said that, and I was like, I think when I was diagnosed with fibro back in 2016, I think I was told then that I had signs of like very early scoliosis. So it's good to know, I guess it's not any worse. And yeah, there's something wrong with my joints. They're worse than they should be at my age, but he didn't really go into it. And I kind of forgot to like ask more about it. I thought, oh, I'll deal with that later. So yeah, I'm going to start taking, this is a health supplement called glucosamine. I don't know if you heard of that. It's good for your joints, apparently. I'm going to buy some and start taking that and see if that helps. And I'll see what my GP says about if there's anything I need to be doing. And I want to know exactly what is wrong with the joints. Don't just say it's worse than it should be at my age. What does that even mean? So, without further ado, right, so I've got these beautiful eyeshadows that I've been excited to try. I don't know if you've seen this indie brand called Karla Cosmetics. They have really, really beautiful eyeshadows, and they look like liquid metal on your eye. So I bought some of those. I got a set of 3. This is what they look like. They're little eyeshadow pots of loose powder. I love the beautiful little shapes. Let me bring close. There you go, focused. So I got purple, pink, and like a greenish. I think they're all like duochrome, multichrome. So this is the little bags. They came in individually. Opal Moonstone Multichrome Loose Eyeshadow. I cut the packaging open. It's kind of annoying because it's got the red in there. Okay, so multi-dimensional loose pigment with dazzling pastel undertones. These unique shades have a pastel base with a soft velvet texture. Layer over coloured eyeshadow base to base something, a sheer luminous glitter highlight, or you can build up to an opaque finish if desired. The loose pigment is best applied over a primer or mixing medium, which I purchased as well. You had to purchase it separately, I believe, which is, oh wait, that's not the mixing medium. This is a different colour. Oh, this is called a shadow potion. Forgot I had that. The mixing medium is here. That's just the clear jelly thing. Come on, focus. There you go. So I've already put that on my lids. I put on this lid first, the normal primer I use, because I have really oily eyelids. The NYX Ultimate Shadow and Liner Primer. It looks like that. It's got like this light yellow colour, as you can see here. There. But it fades to nothing. And to use these glitters, you have to use little brushes like this. So if you remember these very, very old style eyeshadow brushes. So I've cleaned a couple of those, ready to go. And it came with this little card as well. So it shows this is this eyeshadow. And then it's got like the 9 stages to get that look, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not very good at wings and that looks very complicated but very pretty. So maybe I'll get to it one day. Okay, so I went to quickly grab, like move around a bit and grab an ice pack from my back. As you can see, I put on a matte pink shadow on this pastel blue on this. I used the Colourpop Fade into Hue palette, which I haven't used that much. It's the first time I've used, I think, both of these shades. So let me just show you. So I used this pink colour here called Lovecraftian, and the blue just here called Take It Easel. I still got the little plastic thing to keep especially all the shimmers in place, because like one of them, the blue kaleidoscope that was under Take It Easel, was just a mess and falling everywhere. I should have used something like, I've got a neutral-ish or quite light P. Louise base somewhere. I should have used that, or if I couldn't find it, just use concealer for now, because these colours are not showing up at all. This one was very patchy. It still is pretty patchy. I had to build both of them up just to get it to this level, and that's not very strong at all, which is kind of a shame. So let's go back to this. So this, I'm not using this one today, but the Midnight Shadow Potion one. Let me show you what it looks like. So these all have like these little plastic lids to keep it safe. So I feel like I'm gonna drop this, so I have to be very careful. It's so tiny, but look at this colour. How pretty is that? Okay, so the shade says Vivid Purple to Midnight Blue to Pink. It's hard to notice any pink in there. Like the purple, sort of dark blue is very strong. Midnight has a black base with highly metallic, colour shifting reflective tones. If I swatched it better, you could probably see that there's more colour shifting. Let me scoot closer. It's kind of an expensive little pot, so I don't want to like waste it. And that I'll try to insert some better swatches. This is, you take a tiny amount with a flat brush, apply to the desired area with a light pressure. You can layer the gel to create an even tone. The magic formula will allow you to blend seamlessly into the skin to create an easy smoky shadow effect. Wait 1 minute for the gel to dry out. Watch the magic formula dry to a smudge-free multi-tonal eyeshadow. Or why not try a multi-chrome graphic liner with a thin liner brush? I might have to try that with the liner brush tomorrow on Saturday, because I feel like, if I'm going out in the daytime, I feel like it's going to be too intense for the day. Although if you want to smoke during the day, go for it. So let me show you the images on the website. If it loads. Accept the cookies. Ah, there you go. So look at that. Is that not just so beautiful? I guess you can see the pink of it, can't you? And then this is what it looks like on an eyeball. Let me turn it this way. Oh, of course my phone's gonna rotate. Let's have my rotation thing off. Excuse me. So yeah. Ooh, that. Oh, where did that disappear to? I think I don't know how to use technology. Okay. Yeah, look at that. That's so smoky. So beautiful. I put some different colours in the corner. I need to try this look at some point, because right. And then the other colours I got. The purple multichrome one is called Lazy Bones. I'll call it Lady Bone. Oh, even without meaning to, I'm making dirty jokes. And usually I mean to. Oh, my back hurts. It's hard to like try and keep my back upright. I forgot to reset the timer, so I take a break every 20 minutes. So we've been here for 7 minutes, so let's just put it 15. Right. Let's bring up the other one. Right. Lazy. You need to see this girl. I think she's called Katie, that does looks. I follow her on Instagram. They are divine. My god, it's so beautiful. Because of her Instagram, that's why I bought it. And that's how I just came across her page randomly, like just scrolling through Instagram. And it just, her makeup just looks so beautiful. I was like, well, I need to buy that then. So this is the Lazy Bones one. Oops. Let's look at that. Is that not amazing? Like, have you ever seen something so beautiful? Like, if you use a black base under it, it comes out like this. And if you just use the fixing potion, it looks like the other one. So you can see it's like such a big difference between having like a black base and the clear base. Like, so separately, this is £20.99. And she put it on her lips as well, which is great. Oh, you can see what it looks like. Like a lighter. Where did it up? Yeah, look at that. That's the same colour, I guess, without the black base. I wish I could do those, you know, the pointy inner corner things, but the inner corner of my eye is kind of wide. So I tried it once before and it just looked like dookie, so I never attempted it again. So yeah, this is every angle of light unveils a different side, and the translucent base reflects violet, blue, pink, and bronze. Texture type sparkly. Why did I shimmy to say sparkly? Because I'm sparkling. It is buildable and can create a foiled effect. That's the word, foiled. I always call it liquid metal, but sometimes I say liquid gold when I mean liquid metal. Yeah, so these are called Opal Moonstone Multichrome Loose Eyeshadows. So yeah, that was like the mostly purple one. The pink one is called Boujee Bay. Who says Bay anymore? I think that died out in like 2016 or something. Come on, let me search. The internet's so slow in the spare room. The router is quite far. I'll just use my data. Might be quicker. So another thing that has changed as well recently is, but if you've been here before, you know my skin is super oily. I'm not exaggerating. This is like the least oily my face has looked, and it's quite shiny. But I think that's just my skincare hydrating it. It doesn't feel greasy. So I started on doxycycline because I keep getting like really bad cystic acne. I got it quite a bit on my face. Effectively, it's faded on my face faster than, and then all along the top of my shoulders and top of like my upper back was just so much cystic acne, like a ridiculous amount. So a doctor agreed to put me back on the doxycycline because I was on it a few months ago for 3 months, and now I'm on it for another 3 months, and then we'll see, we might extend it for another 3 or not. And I'm also on spironolactone because I think I have mild undiagnosed PCOS. I did a hormone test and it shows that my testosterone is kind of high, which it corresponds with like PCOS. And like when I used to have periods before I was on contraceptive pill, my periods were really heavy and really inconsistent. Like some months would be for like 11 days, sometimes like 3 weeks. They were very heavy and I had really bad cramps. So yeah. So all that combined makes me think that I have PCOS. So the spironolactone should reduce the oil, where the doxycycline should reduce the actual acne. Okay, so the Boujee Bay one looks like this. Hang on, let me just got this mirror in the way. Alright. Same girl. Like, this is on the Karla Cosmetics website, so they clearly love what she does. This colour is, what is the description? I would help if I actually clicked on it properly. Also $20.99 if you buy it like individually. It's an indie brand, so they're always more expensive. They do use ClearPay, and I think you can use Karla. Yeah, they set Amazon and Apple Pay too. So this one is, the different shades are pink, lavender, aqua, green, and gold. Texture type also sparkly. Used for eyeshadow, highlighter, and creative lip looks. I don't know if I'm going to put any on my lips today, but to be fair, I probably will, because it just looks amazing. And this is another look using like other products, but also the same Boujee Bay one. Doesn't that just look incredible? And with a black base, you can really see the green. And like, look at the difference between that and without the black base. So my memory card was like full, so I had to delete some stuff. So yeah, I was saying that, look at the difference of like the Fix Potion base compared to the black base. What difference? And you can see how it looks on the lip, I assume with also a black base. Incredible. And last but not least, the other colour is called Sleepyhead. All three of these are Opal, Moonstone, Multichromes. So yeah, so I'm taking care of my acne. I also bought hydroquinone as well for the hyperpigmentation. Look at that. That's the Sleepyhead one. It's just phenomenal. Oh, you can see that. That's what this looks like. That's the actual shadow of the pot. Focus. There we go. Again with the black base and without, so the black base is on this side. Okay, so the colours are turquoise, green, blue, pink, lavender, and gold. Oh, this one has 6 colours, and the others I think were 5. So yeah, that's that. And now, oh yeah, another thing quickly is I noticed as well that all these little jars, they have like the main lid, and then there's this little, whatever you call it. So you lift this up, and then there's like a small hole. So I guess it will help you to control, just pour out a little bit, which is great. So I'm gonna start with, I think I said I was gonna use the purpley one, isn't it? So that's Sleepyhead. Right, let me put the little lids back on. On the lids as well, it's got the little Karla Cosmetics. I'm trying to hold it, but that's terrible. You can see a little symbol, sigil. Oh, obviously it's a K. K for Karla. How can I hold this? Yeah. So let's put Sleepyhead to one side. I'm going to use Lazy Bones, which was like the more purple shade. Let me turn my fan away before it just blows everything over. Get the little pot lid open. Trying to keep this ice up on my back. It's not easy. Alright, let me sit back a bit. But the only thing to do now is to apply this. So I've already put the matte shadow on, and then it says use a duochrome on the lid using. They recommend, like, they have brushes that they sell for using this. Whoa, my forehead looks shiny, isn't it? Doesn't feel greasy at all. Alright, let's just. I've got this little candle lid here that I'm going to use to just pour a tiny bit out. I don't know if I can hold this up. Oh, but I'm using like a really. Can you see there's a really small amount on here? Make sure the fan's not going to blow away. Oh, this headbutt's giving me a headache. Oh. I think you can see I've dyed my hair red as well. You can see it on my Instagram. So, they recommend a brush that looks like these. I've seen lots of people say that you should use these types of very old school eyeshadow brushes for loose glitter. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tap that in. Got my little handheld mirror that I'm going to use. Oh, I should, instead of doing blue, I should have done purple, shouldn't I? Be right back. Okay, so I quickly took off that blue eyeshadow and put the lilac on. I did this time put some concealer down as the base, but under the, I did the primer potion and then the concealer to sort of blot out my eyelid colour a bit, and then use the lilac, but as you can see it's not very pigmented. I did put a couple of layers in. So the colour I used here is called Selfie. It says to use matte, but this has got ever so slight shimmer in it, but it shouldn't be a problem really. I guess if I wanted, I could use like a darker purple in the outer corner. That might be a good idea, isn't it? Instead of having, well, I guess there's no problem with having just shimmer all over the lids. It doesn't have to, you don't have to have darker shadow on the outer. So yeah, I've got that Lazy Bones shade, so let's see how this turns out. I've zoomed in as far as my camera will take it, so I'm going to lean forwards further so you can see. So shimmery. It's interesting that you have to put the primer potion on and then this stuff. I feel like it's not really gonna like emphasize the shimmer. Like, can you see that? Try not to like lean onto makeup. Close my eyes. I don't know if you could see that very well at all. I feel like this is good enough that you can it's light enough that you can use it during the day. Just see this. I wonder if I wet the brush a bit, would it make the thing, the powder stick out more? Eyeshadow. Just wipe it. I've wet it with some setting spray, then pat it off a bit so it's not like sopping wet. Pick up some more. This is on, I'm using the other side of the brush. So again, let's scoot forwards carefully. You can see what I mean, like about hyperpigmentation. This looks very red in the camera, but in real life it looks more like brown, light brown. But let's do this. Mm. Just want to build it. There's definitely, obviously because it's a loose powder, there's going to be like a bit of fallout. It's not looking as liquidy as I thought. But that is definitely stunning. And I guess like that girl, that her name is Katie on Instagram, I guess she's like filtering her pictures a bit, you know, to make it really stand out colours. So I gotta say, I'm not disappointed. It's just different to how I thought it was going to turn out. Like, again, come close. Let me know what you think. Like, you can see it a bit when I open my eyes because I've got hooded lids, so I'm trying to adjust my eyes. I've got it wrapped in a tea towel so it doesn't cause any too much discomfort. I'm trying to scoop my chair forwards. Oh, damn, that hurts. Alright, so that's that done. I feel like I don't need to bring it up too high, like up here. I feel okay to leave that a bit empty. Normally I would like bring colour up there, but I don't think that's necessary. So now, I'm going to do the other eye. Okay, even closer, that knocking my drink down. So you can see those there. I don't know if the colour is shifting and changing enough or not, but hopefully it is. I'll have to get a black base. I think I must have black eyeshadow somewhere, and I'll do that look another time. I also recently bought my first full size Pat McGrath palette. I think it's called Midnight no. What's it called? I don't know. I think it was the most recent one. Sorry, recent one, number 10. Let me just quickly reload everything. Because I did this, went to this Harrods bridal beauty event. I don't know if I mentioned them. Probably not, because I haven't filmed in ages. Yeah, and I think, I don't know if it was discounted already, but like you got, yeah, I think it was 10% off anyway. And then because I paid for this, the tickets for the whole event, like there was this makeup masterclass, and like you get to try all this other stuff. Like you got a facial, it's more like a self facial. Like they just give you the products and you apply it to your face. And they had like the dry bar vouchers for that, but I didn't use the dry bar, unfortunately. And yeah, then so we got, because the price of the tickets was £50, and we got £25 off any purchase. So I bought a palette. I bought it from like 120-ish pounds to 85. So yeah, that's definitely worth the money in my opinion, because Pat McGrath is amazing products. Right, let's do the rest of the makeup. Okay, so I've done the rest of my makeup. I used a new foundation that I've never tried it before, mostly because it's matte, but I was looking for a cheap one because I got darker. I don't want to spend too much money until I knew I had the right shade. There's nowhere around here that you can get people to do it for you. I don't like colour testing myself. I prefer to let professionals do it. So I got the Revlon Colorstay Full Cover Foundation. It's matte in the shade 430 Rich Ginger. I think might be a tad too red for me, but next time I wear it, I'll just I've got some blue foundation mixer from LA Girl up there. I'll just mix it in with it. I tried to add this really dark foundation to one that is currently too light for me. I just made my skin look really grey, so I just abandoned that. I tried to put some bronzer on as well. I feel most of my bronzer is too light, and I don't know where I put my... I got a cream contour palette. Yeah, I couldn't figure out where that is, so I don't really need to bronze. I'm kind of, you know, quite dark as it is, but I want my face to look 2D. I had a powder that I wanted to test out, but I thought this foundation might be too matte. Damn, in real life, like in the mirror, this does not look too intense, but in the viewfinder, this looks like it is like the, you know, the strongest ones ever. This is an old one I don't really use, because I think this is too dark for me and I bought it. This is Primark Face Bronzer Powder in Burnt Sienna. Gosh, it just looks, in the viewfinder it just looks so intense, but I promise in real life it doesn't look that bad. I look really dewy around my nose, so maybe I could put a touch of powder there, but maybe put I'll put blush on before then. So I got this new, this is like brand new, I've worn it twice though, the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift. It's a waterproof black mascara. I kind of hate putting on waterproof because it's like nearly midnight, so I'm going to wash this makeup off very soon, but I don't really buy non-waterproof. I don't really have any other, don't think any other new mascara to wear, so I'll have to do. I put the L'Oreal Lash Paradise primer on first, because I like my lashes to be very long. Most mascara I find is very volumizing rather than lengthening. So I'm always on the lookout for a really good lengthening mascara. This one's pretty decent. Just trying to wiggle at the root. I put a brown eyeliner as well on. I don't have any new brow products, so I just did my brows as well. I think that'll do. I kind of don't want to wear false lashes because I don't want to draw attention away from this beautiful eyeshadow. I don't want to I don't want it to be hidden. Yeah, I did concealer under my eyes as well. Oh yeah, blush. So was I going to use a new blush? Yes. I've got this Beauty Light wand by Charlotte Tilbury, the Glowgasm ones. That's very new. Yeah, this is the colour Pink Gasm. I do wonder if this is going to be too light, because when I bought this, I wasn't this dark, but we'll see. Let's put it on the high point of my cheek. Is that even coming out? Nope. Wait, did I turn this off? No, it's on. Squeeze it a bit. I totally forgot as well, I recently bought the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist Illuminating Primer, and I forgot to put it on. I knew when I was setting up my makeup, I was thinking, I know I'm going to forget to put it on, and I did. So I have to try it Saturday. On Saturday we're going to, there's a helicopter museum really close to the house, like 5-10 minute drive. We've been meaning to go since we moved here and discovered it, but you know, pain got in the way and insomnia. Let's see. Can you see that? We're just like absorbed and disappeared into the thing. Maybe the bronzer powders should. Oh yeah, I just put cream highlight on to bronzer. That's usually a bad idea. See if I can build this up. I know Charlotte Tilbury is quite. It's not very vibrant, is it? So I guess it does look nice and glowy, but I can't really see much colour. Being a bit darker gives me an excuse to potentially buy the a Rare Beauty, the liquid one, in a darker shade. Well, I do really like that. I don't think there's a better blush, especially liquid blush, than that. I know my battery's dying. Right, I've got a duo fibre brush, my trusty one from Real Techniques. It's that old. The handle's gone really manky. I'm not sure I agree this is translucent, like it looks like it lightened my makeup there, but it is looking significantly less shiny. So that's something. You can give a lot of this makeup a good wear test on Saturday. Another new thing you can probably tell is that I've lost a lot of weight. So since at least January, I've lost like 5 stone. If you want to know how I did that, you can check my video out. Hint, easy Ozempic, because I did have diabetes, type 2 diabetes. I might have just been borderline. I was definitely pre-diabetic before the pandemic. I'm sure during the pandemic I probably went into full diabetes territory. If I was going anywhere, I would just go over like my cheeks as well, and then like put. Maybe I should, because it's just looking a bit crazy. So yeah, so Ozempic is for if you've got type 2 diabetes. It helps you to like regulate your blood sugar as well as losing weight. So that's great, because if you know me, being overweight has been quite distressing for me. Some people are fine with, you know, being plus size and stuff. It's definitely not for me. No shade to anyone who is overweight. It's just not my personal preference. And I'm very short as well, so it's super noticeable. And I just felt like, especially because my stomach was so kind of distended in a way, like a lot of my fat was in my abdomen area. I just felt like I looked like Danny DeVito, which is not very flattering for a girl, I think. Definitely not for me. So now I'm down to, so my heaviest was like 16 stone 8, which is a lot if you're as short as me. I was like in the, I don't think I was in the morbidly obese category, but I was definitely like severely obese. And like I said, I'm 5'4", so it's like very heavy. And now I'm just under, I think it's just under 12 stone. Or it might be like 11.8, so like a few pounds off of 12 stone. You can see like some of the hyperpigmentation. Should have put like I did touch a little bit of extra foundation over it, but I'm not being too fussy because like I said, I'm going to bed soonish. Yeah. So yeah, and I dress size like kind of 16 to 18 on the bottom and then 16 on the top. I don't have a specific goal. I do want my stomach to be a bit flatter than it is now. But nothing crazy. I feel like I want to put more blush on because you can't see the Charlotte Tilbury one at all. So I'm going in with a product that I haven't used that much, but I bought this well over a year ago. This is the Juvia's Place Afrique blush. The shade, I think the shade is Serafina. But it's this beautiful colour. You see that shows up much more. That's more noticeable. Again, it's not as intense in real life as it looks. Just looking in my viewfinder. When I edit it, it might not even look as crazy as I feel it looks. Probably shouldn't really put so much blush on this side because I've got a big lump there, a spot. Right. What I want to do is, let me get the, you know, instead of using the Colourpop palette because it's a bit naff, I should have just probably used the Juvia's Place. But I don't know if the purples are, like the shades are very intense. There's a lot of colour payoff. So it might have been too much for the shadow, I don't know. I'll have to try it and find out. Right, let me get, I've got a liner pencil. I know, I've got like a good fluff on. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Lovecraft shade on this side and just put it on the lower lash. Because my lower lashes are a bit naked. Now that I've got the concealer there, I can do this. Oh, why am I putting the pink that side as well? Just build that out there a bit. Just put a tad up here. Right. Using one of those cotton pads again. Let's get a bit of micellar water and that. And the same brush, just take off that pink. I have to work out how to mix foundations because like this one is fine, but I feel like a more dewy foundation, but I probably should be wearing more matte. Like normally matte foundations look terrible on me, and this one is not as mattifying as I thought it would be. Like, because my skin went like a weird grey, I had to wipe it off and that, and I took off obviously a lot of my skincare, so my skin isn't as hydrated as I'd like it to be normally. So I'm going into that selfie lilac shade this side. I can't wear proper liner on my lower lashes, it just drags my eye down. I don't really know why that happens, I just know that it does, and I know that it's a thing for some people. That's cute. I'm thinking like, do I use the blue or not in the corners? But I feel like that'd be too much. I'm just wondering if my ring light is so, like, it seems like crazy bright. Maybe I should turn on the brightness and have a look and see how the makeup looks. I'm going to take that liner brush a minute. I'm going to just take a shimmer here that I can use. Yeah, I'm going to use Fantasyland, which is like baby pink. Put that in the corner here. Build that up a scotch. Just wipe that off on the pad of micellar water. And then I'm going to take the Lilac Shimmer Express. Put that on this side. Use my baby finger. And then I use my ring finger, the Fantasyland one. Fill that up there. Do with some earrings. Might put some earrings on before I take a picture. What do you think? Let me know. What's everyone been up to? Is there anything in particular you want to see? I'm going to get Tom to do a video of me soon. Probably my next one. Buy some non-English foreign foods to try. So those videos always do quite well and they're always fun. The Australian one I did like trying Australian shoots was a bit chaotic last time. Yeah, that's me done for now. Bye for now.